Have you ever heard the phrase, just eat more fish, it's good for you? Doctors say it. Friends repeat it. The news echoes it constantly. And for years, maybe you believed it too. But here's the hard truth. What if I told you that not all fish are actually safe? In fact, some types, perhaps even the ones currently sitting in your freezer, could be quietly undermining your health without you even knowing it. I'm not talking about food poisoning or anything that hits you right away. No, this is something far more insidious. This is the kind of long-term harm that creeps in slowly, the kind that clouds your memory, stiffens your joints, strains your heart, and over time, chips away at your energy, clarity, and resilience. It's unsettling, isn't it? Especially when all you're trying to do is make better choices. You've cut down on junk food, you're eating less red meat, and you've increased your fish intake, all in the name of heart health and longevity. That feels like a smart move. But behind the scenes, certain fish, particularly dangerous for those over 60, are quietly harboring hidden toxins. We're talking mercury, industrial chemicals, and yes, in some cases, even radiation. And here's the key point, your body simply doesn't recover the way it once did. As we age, the liver, kidneys, brain, they all work a little more slowly. So the substances a younger person might flush out easily can linger far longer in your system. That's when the trouble begins. You see, some species of fish act like sponges in polluted waters, soaking up heavy metals and environmental waste, and then carrying those poisons directly to your dinner plate. Yet no one is sounding the alarm. Not the labels, not the packaging, not even the friendly man behind the seafood counter. But you're not alone in this. In this video, we're going to shine a light on 3 types of fish that older adults should never eat. Not occasionally, not in moderation, but never. And this isn't meant to frighten you. It's meant to protect you. Because once you know what to watch out for, you can make wiser choices, ones that preserve your health, your vitality, and maybe even help someone you love avoid a silent danger they never saw coming. And let me tell you, the second fish on this list? It's one that most people assume is healthy. But once you learn the truth, you may never see it the same way again. So if you're someone who cares about aging well, staying mentally sharp, physically strong, and enjoying your golden years with clarity and confidence, stay with us. And before we dive deeper, let us know you're here. Type "I'm here" in the comments, so we know you're part of this community that's taking charge of its health. And of course, if you haven't already, click that subscribe button and join us here at Evergreen Wisdom, where we focus on what matters most when it comes to senior care, well-being, and living fully, one day at a time. Now, let's begin with the first fish on our list, king mackerel. Let me paint a picture for you. Imagine your uncle, you know, the one who always loved to cook. Every Sunday, he's out back by the grill, flipping steaks, maybe throwing on a little fish over the open flame. A few months ago, he decided to eat healthier. He swapped out red meat for something lighter. He came home from the market with a fresh cut of king mackerel. It looked fantastic, firm, rich, full of flavor, just the way he likes it. At first, it seemed like a smart, health-conscious choice. He was proud of it. But then something changed. Something changed. Weeks went by, and your uncle started feeling off. He grew more tired than usual. He began misplacing simple things, his keys, the day of the week. Sometimes he'd get dizzy just standing up. His hands trembled slightly when he reached for his morning cup of coffee. At first, everyone brushed it off. He's just getting older, they said. But then you begin to wonder, could it be something else? As it turns out, it might be. King mackerel is one of the most mercury-laden fish in the ocean. And mercury is no minor concern. It's not something the body eliminates easily, especially as we age. You see, when we're younger, our organs work more efficiently. The liver and kidneys are better equipped to flush out toxins. But in older adults, those same systems begin to slow down. That's when mercury, a silent, toxic metal, starts to build up. It enters your bloodstream, and over time, it can make its way into your brain and nervous system. That's when symptoms like confusion, memory loss, and tremors begin to show. And here's what makes it especially dangerous. These early signs are so subtle that they're often mistaken for just aging. But they're not. They're warning signs, quiet indicators that something toxic may be affecting your body in ways you never expected. This is one of the most common misconceptions out there. People hear mackerel and automatically assume it's healthy because it's fish, and fish means good fats, right? But not all fish are created equal. King mackerel grows large, lives longer, and sits higher up the food chain. That means it has more time and opportunity to absorb mercury, both from polluted waters and from eating smaller, contaminated fish. So even though it may taste rich and appear to be a lean, clean choice, it isn't. But don't worry, you don't have to give up mackerel entirely. There's a safer path forward. If you enjoy the flavor and texture of mackerel, opt for Atlantic mackerel instead. It's a smaller species, with significantly lower mercury levels, and still packed with the heart-healthy omega-3s your body needs. Another reliable choice? Canned tuna. It's affordable, widely available, and far safer for older adults than larger predator fish. So the next time you're in the seafood aisle, or chatting with a loved one about what to make for dinner, think twice about king mackerel. Because sometimes, the most important part of the meal isn't what's on the plate, but what's in it. And if mercury wasn't worrying enough, just wait until you hear about the next fish on our list. At first glance, it seems completely harmless. But the way it's raised could be exposing you to antibiotics, synthetic dyes, and even industrial chemicals, all without your knowledge. Let's talk about tilapia. That mild, white fish, the one that cooks quickly and shows up everywhere from freezer aisles to restaurant menus, might even be on your plate tonight. Your neighbor probably swears by it. She might have told you, oh, it's perfect for older folks. No bones, no strong smell. It's cheap, it's lean, just toss it in the pan and it's ready. And at first glance, she's not wrong. It does seem like the ideal fish. But here's what she, and millions of others, don't realize. What most people don't realize is where tilapia actually comes from, and more importantly, what's inside it. You see, the majority of tilapia available on the market today is farm-raised, especially overseas in countries with far looser regulations than we have here. We're talking about densely packed fish farms, murky water, and conditions that are difficult to even imagine. Now, think about what happens when you cram too many fish into overcrowded, unsanitary tanks. Disease spreads fast. And to control those outbreaks, fish farmers flood the water with antibiotics. Sometimes these are drugs used in human medicine, and in some cases, they're substances outright banned in the United States. This isn't just a minor concern, it's a serious one, particularly for older adults. As we age, our immune systems weaken. Our bodies become more sensitive to chemicals and medications. The digestive system, liver, and kidneys don't process toxins as efficiently as they once did. So when you consume farm-raised tilapia that has absorbed residues from antibiotics, pesticides, or even hormones, your body might struggle to filter them out. Over time, that burden can take a toll, interfering with digestion, weakening immunity, and even fueling chronic inflammation throughout your body. And it doesn't stop there. Let's bust another myth. People assume that because tilapia is a white fish, it must be healthy. But here's the truth. Tilapia is actually very high in omega-6 fatty acids, the kind that promote inflammation, not reduce it. In fact, studies have shown that tilapia contains more inflammatory omega-6 than bacon. Yes, bacon. And what does chronic inflammation lead to? It worsens arthritis, joint pain, heart disease, and even cognitive decline. So if you or a loved one is already dealing with stiff knees, sore hips, or cardiovascular issues, tilapia might be silently fueling the fire. So what's the solution? Fortunately, you don't have to give up white fish entirely. There are cleaner, safer options that still deliver the lean protein you're looking for, without the chemical baggage. Try wild-caught cod. It has a mild flavor, is easy to digest, and is rich in healthy protein. Or consider Alaska pollock, commonly found in fish fillets and surprisingly nutritious when not overly processed. Both options are low in mercury, low in inflammatory fats, and, crucially, not raised in the same hazardous conditions that plague foreign tilapia farms. So next time you see that big bag of frozen tilapia on sale, pause and ask yourself, is saving a few dollars today worth risking your health tomorrow? And speaking of long-term risks, what if the real danger isn't in the fish itself, but in where it was caught? Because our final fish may come directly from waters contaminated with radioactive waste, industrial chemicals, and heavy metals. You can't see them, you can't taste them, but your body definitely feels them. Let's talk about that. Now, shift scenes with me for a moment. You're at a lovely restaurant. Cloth napkins. Candlelight. You scan the menu, and your eyes land on something special, a thick, juicy tuna steak. Pacific bluefin tuna. It sounds premium. It is expensive. And it feels like you're making a smart, elegant, health-conscious choice. After all, tuna is packed with protein and omega-3s, the very nutrients doctors have recommended for decades, right? But here's what no one tells you, that beautiful Pacific bluefin tuna steak, thick, glistening, and expensive, could actually be one of the most toxic choices you can make, especially as you get older. Let me explain why. Pacific bluefin tuna is no ordinary fish. It's a powerful swimmer, enormous in size, and it lives a long, long life. And that longevity comes at a cost. It gives the fish more time to absorb toxins from the ocean. Among all species of fish, Pacific bluefin ranks near the top in mercury content. This mercury hides within the fish's tissue, accumulates in the bloodstream, and poses a direct threat to your brain, nerves, and vital organs. For older adults, this represents a slow-moving hazard, one that can quietly impact memory, coordination, and long-term cognitive function. But there's more. In recent years, scientists have detected traces of radioactive contaminants in Pacific bluefin tuna, linked to ocean pollution from nuclear accidents and industrial waste. That's not science fiction, it's scientific fact. And while the levels may sound small on paper, to a body already working harder to detoxify and repair itself with age, even low exposure can build up over time. Let's pause here and confront another widespread myth. Many people assume that if something is expensive, it must be safe. We think, hey, I'm paying a premium, it must be high quality. But unfortunately, seafood doesn't work that way. Bluefin tuna is a luxury item, yes, but it's also overfished, poorly regulated in many regions, and its risks are completely invisible to the naked eye. You won't smell the mercury. You won't taste the radiation. But your body will know. It will respond over time with confusion, fatigue, pain, and even cardiovascular strain. So what can you do? You don't have to give up tuna altogether. You simply need to make smarter choices. Instead of bluefin, look for skipjack tuna, a smaller, shorter-lived species that contains far less mercury. Or opt for albacore, especially from brands that are certified for low mercury and sustainable fishing practices. Here's a helpful tip. Consult trusted seafood guidelines like those from the Environmental Defense Fund or the Monterey Bay Aquarium Seafood Watch. They provide up-to-date recommendations and highlight which brands test their fish and which ones don't. And if you enjoy canned tuna, choose light tuna rather than white, which often means albacore with higher mercury levels. Now that we've uncovered these three high-risk fish, let's step back and look at the bigger picture. Because this isn't just about avoiding a few specific items at the grocery store, it's about understanding how even small, daily choices can shape the way we age. That's the heart of it, isn't it? It's unsettling to realize that something as simple as fish, something we've always been told is good for us, might quietly be causing harm over time. Especially when all you're trying to do is take care of yourself or care for someone you love. Maybe you've eaten some of the fish we've talked about today. That's okay. The point isn't to stir guilt, it's to offer awareness, so you can move forward with confidence, making better decisions that truly support your health. Because the good news is this, once you know better, you can do better. And every better choice you make, every label you read, every brand you trust, every conversation you have becomes part of a bigger shift. A shift toward longevity, clarity, and strength, one meal at a time. So, what's next? Stay with us. In our next video, we'll explore what to eat instead, the safest, cleanest fish options that support brain health, reduce inflammation, and help you feel strong and alert in the years ahead. In the meantime, let us know in the comments which of these 3 fish surprised you the most. And if you haven't already, click subscribe to join us here at Evergreen Wisdom, where we're building a community that cares deeply about aging well, staying informed, and living fully every single day. You're not alone in this journey. And together, we can face the truth and thrive because of it. It might be sitting in your freezer right now, and that thought might stir up a bit of fear, maybe even guilt. But here's the truth, you didn't know. And when you don't know, you can't make better choices. But now you do know. And that's powerful. Because what you're learning here isn't just about fish, it's about your body, about aging, and how the foods that once worked for you might not serve you the same way today. It's about how something that's perfectly healthy for a 30-year-old could be harmful for someone at 70. That awareness is everything. You don't have to feel overwhelmed. You don't have to feel afraid. And most importantly, you are not too late. This isn't about fear, it's about preparation. It's about making small, thoughtful changes that can lead to big results over time. You have the power to protect your body, your mind, your heart, and your independence simply by being mindful of what goes on your plate. So start simple. Take a look in your freezer. The next time you're at the store, glance at the label. When you're dining out, don't be afraid to ask, what kind of fish is this? Was it wild caught? Where is it from? Those small questions? They matter more than you think. And if you're caring for an aging parent or grandparent, this knowledge can help you make decisions that safeguard their health, not just today, but for years to come. Because food isn't just fuel. It's a message to your body. And you deserve to send the right one. There is so much hope in all of this. With just a few smart swaps, wild-caught fish instead of farm-raised, smaller species instead of large predators, you can reduce inflammation, support memory, ease joint pain, and protect your heart. This is within reach. You don't need to overhaul your entire life. You just need to be informed and intentional. You are not helpless. You are not stuck. You are prepared. And that kind of peace, the peace that comes from knowing you're doing the right thing for your body or for someone you love, that's priceless. You've earned that peace of mind. And from here, things only get better. So let's take a moment and quickly recap what we've learned today. King mackerel, loaded with mercury, it can harm memory and the nervous system. Farm-raised tilapia, packed with inflammatory fats and raised in questionable conditions that may impact gut and immune health. Pacific bluefin tuna, expensive, yes, but also high in mercury and sometimes radioactive contaminants, which aging bodies struggle to process. That's why you needed to hear this. Let me ask you, have you eaten any of these fish recently? Did any of them surprise you? Maybe you always thought tilapia was safe. Or maybe you've ordered bluefin tuna at a restaurant and never gave it a second thought. Tell me in the comments. I read every single one. Your stories, your reflections, they help shape the kind of content we create here. Because this channel isn't just about sharing information. It's about creating a community, one that cares, and one that's paying attention. And if this video helped you feel even a little more confident about your food choices, do me one small favor, give it a like. Not for me, but for yourself. And for the countless others who will come across this and learn something that might protect their health, too. Together, we're making informed living a way of life. One step, one choice, one meal at a time. And hey, if you haven't yet, consider subscribing to Evergreen Wisdom. This space is created for you, for the quiet warriors caring for aging parents, for the older adults doing their best every day to live well, feel strong, and stay independent. It's for anyone who believes that aging with dignity begins with knowledge and small, smart choices. Here, we talk about it all: nutrition, emotional wellness, mobility, memory, relationships, because your golden years should shine. They shouldn't feel like a battle. So go ahead and click subscribe and turn on notifications. That way, you'll never miss a video that might brighten your day or even change your life. And above all, thank you for being here. Stay informed, stay empowered, and never stop learning, because your health journey doesn't end with a number. It grows with every step you take forward. Take care, stay wise, and I'll see you in the next video.